Last week, we shared a warning about romance scams and the costly impacts.
Well, Patrick Nelson is back this morning with a follow-up story about how his reporting is inspiring other scam victims to now come forward and why more work, Patrick, needs to be done to stop people behind the crimes.
Yeah, after our story on romance scams last week, I connected with Shirley Lynn, who says she's now inspired to share her romance scam experience after seeing the testimonies of others. And I learned in the private sector, technology is evolving to help pinpoint exactly who is breaking hearts and stealing money.
You love somebody, that person loves you, seems like he's so willing to connect with you, but then all of a sudden it's broken.
Shirley Lynn says she met someone online and developed a long-distance relationship.
And he told me a bunch of stories how he's working, like he's on a boat, you know, he's one of those I don't know, submarines. And he wanted money.
After seeing our coverage on romance scams, she felt compelled to speak with News 5, sharing her story for the first time publicly.
This person asking me for money, I knew that he wanted to clear out my bank account.
Inspired by the testimonies of others on News 5 who were targeted by romance scams, she hopes people will end relationships like hers before handing over any money.
I think they're brave enough to come out with their story so that others can learn from it, and especially for mine, people can learn from it. Like, before you decide to give out your money to anybody, you know it's not going to come back.
I spoke with David McClellan, the founder of Social Catfish, a private company working to help scam victims and to increase accountability for the criminals behind these attacks. He says there is technology out there right now that can detect scam attacks while tracking exactly where they originate and who is getting paid. He believes it's something that many companies should be investing in to better protect consumers.
Banks, social networks, dating sites, apps, chat apps, they should be implementing something like this, in the next 12 months. There's no reason why this shouldn't happen because the technology's there.
This technology can help law enforcement track down fraudsters on U.S. soil, but international scam attacks continue to pose challenges because of the lack of jurisdiction.
The countries need to be working better together, whether it's your local municipal law enforcement or it's the FBI and CIA, which they do stuff, but there's really no direct connection, or there's a lack of communication when this stuff happens.
And although these numbers continue to go up year after year, traditionally, romance scams specifically, very underreported. Just 1 in 3 victims actually come forward and report their experience, so that's something we're hoping to change.
Is there a specific demographic that a lot of these scammers are targeting when it comes to these romance scams?
When we hear about these things, we find out seniors lose a ton of money, but really it's people of all ages that are targeted.
Yeah, well, there's certainly a stigma around these scams, and people that fall for them, might think, oh, they're not that smart, but there's a lot more to this.
There is, and that's one of the reasons people don't come forward, is they feel a little bit ashamed. But Social Catfish did research on scam victims in general. More than 70% at least have some kind of college education. So even people that are pretty savvy fall for these things, and that's why people say we need to have more schooling in our schools when it comes to online safety.
All right, I think we could all agree on that, Patrick.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick.